Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, fellow Honkai Star Rail, and DOT, damage over time, dot lovers. Welcome back to another reaction for Hysilens. We are starting her drip marketing content coverage periodic series, which realistically there's only going to be like probably 2 videos. But either way, Hysilens is coming out. I'm a little scared to talk about story spoilers here, but this is after a very big part in the story. So I'm going to try and not spoil anything. Very big part in the story, very interesting. She's going to be in the story, Sage's going to be in the story, and we're going to talk about them. But we're going to focus on Hysilens. So, going over the standard criteria. Number 1. Is she meta? Is her gameplay good? Gameplay is a weird thing to talk about, though, because it's turn-based and it's mostly auto battle. But Hysilens is very interesting. Hysilens is basically, and as we can see here in the bottom right, ironically enough, from Braxophone, she saved dot teams. Basically, Hysilens is replacing Ruan Mei when it comes to dot teams. Now, Ruan Mei did decent, right? Ruan Mei kind of helped, but she was kind of the person that best fit the bill, not the person best suited for the job. This is where now Hysilens comes in, and she is allegedly, according to people, saving Dot. I'm here to contest that. This is where, unless going forward in the future, they really want to carve out a very specific niche for Dot, aka add more Dot characters rather than just Hysilens, then I think Dot in the future can be good. Now, everything I say here could be wrong. I'm not like a theory crafter like that. But just going off the basic trend, right? The basic DOT team, aka the only DOT team, and I guess there's some people that are kind of interchangeable, and I'm thinking of mainly Winnefin. But the premium dot team, and I guess Sampo too, but those are like, shitty 4-stars you just replace if you don't have the 5-star version. They're not necessarily their own different team. This is where Dot really only has one premier team, Kafka and Black Swan. And for those of you who don't know, Black Swan is my favorite character relatively in the game. I was shocked when she came out. I didn't know she was DOT at all. I love the way she stacks. I love her gameplay. I love everything. The only thing I don't love is how much Hoyo has basically neglected Dot over time. over time. But this is where Hysilens is essentially quote-unquote saving it. Now, will Hysilens be good? At what she does, abso-fucking-lutely. I imagine her to be extremely good. But the problem is, and this is kind of what happened to Blade and I would say Jing Liu recently with all the recent buffs they received. The buffs helped them, yeah, but the supports that were in the game, aka Remembrance Trailblazer and Hysilens, those were the big things. Oh, and Treeby too. Those were the bigger things that really boosted them up in the tier lists. So when it comes to Hyselen, will she be good? Her on her own, she's going to be whatever, but she's an enabler, right? She's going to massively buff pretty much Kafka. I think like Black Swan's going to be okay, but without Kafka to really glue it all together, you're not going to be really feeling the strength of Hysilens like that. And this is where that makes her team extremely, extremely expensive if you want to build it. And it's with a lot of old characters too, so unless they're rerunning Black Swan here, and I think Kafka got rerun recently, I'm not too sure. But this is where DOT, unless you already have it, you're going to be struggling if you only have Hysilens. If you don't have Black Swan or Kafka, there's essentially no reason to roll for this character unless she's your waifu. So Hysilens is very interesting, and like I said, going into the future, I don't know what Star Rail is going to do. I don't think, just based on prior history, they're going to really lean more into the DOT playstyle by adding even more options for DOT characters. How really can you? It looks like they're really going to go further in with Remembrance, or just, Sage is basically fine on support too. So either Remembrance or just some other bullshit. But I really don't think, even though Dot is getting like a revitalization here, I think it's more of a momentary revival more than a long-term support. Now, would I want Dot to get long-term support? Abso-fucking-lutely. I love Dot. Dot is my favorite type of gameplay. But this is where in Star Rail, it kind of doesn't make sense for a lot of things, because Dot is damage over time, as it implies, which means you have to wait. So unless there's a way to get the enemies to attack you first, because that's how you trigger the Dot anyway, besides having Kafka, it really goes slow. And, well, that's not necessarily bad. people in this game, people who play Star Rail, are upset if they can't clear things in 15 seconds rather than 20 for their dailies. So Dot is a little bit of a corner, so to say. But regardless, I really like Hysilens. I really want to get her, and I'm really close to Pity too. Not guaranteed. But in terms of gameplay meta, she's going to be good for her niche. Is she going to be good herself? Again, you can't take her in a bubble, but she's going to be good. I don't know how high she'll really take everyone. I don't see people going past tier 1, though. I cannot see Kafka, Black Swan, or Hysilens being anywhere near tier 0. I think it's impossible. Maybe Hysilens at most, or maybe Kafka. Black Swan, I think, is actually getting the shaft here. But Hysilens or Kafka is probably going to be affected the most by this. But I really like the way her kit works. But we'll see if it's that meta. I can't see it being past tier 1, though. Look-wise, I think Hysilens looks really cool. I think she has the nice ocean thing going on. For those of you who don't know, slight spoiler here. She is the person who ate Fagusa's core flame. And I really can't say anything else because it'll spoil the massive plot point in the story. But look-wise, she's pretty cool. She plays the violin. She looks like a dual wielder. And this is where we get to the third criteria of her lore. I actually hate this character so far. From what they showed in the campaign, if you're caught up, you're going to see she's a major fucking asshole. I don't like her voice. I don't like how she acts. She's the common trope of, okay, I'm just a weapon. This person saved me, so I will completely serve them, and I'm their slave. And she takes it really far. So she's doing her job well, but I just hate that character type. I really don't like Hysilens. I think she has a stick up her ass times 2 for fucking each blade she wields too, each violin-like thing. But aside from that, in terms of competition, she's competing against Saedra. And Saedra, ironically enough, this isn't about Saedra, but Saedra, ironically enough, is almost as niche as her, at least for now. The main 2 characters Saedra really helps with is Anaxa and Phanon, both of which are very recent characters. And Saedra's buff isn't up all the time. I heard it's more situational. You actually have to like time for it, kind of. So Saedra's going to be interesting. She's going to be one of the first supports, I guess kind of like Sparkle, sadly, who isn't going to be, I think, too widely used. And then we look at Tribi, and Tribi's basically passed around everywhere. It's a good thing there's fucking 3 of them. But either way, that's her competition. I think Saedra is the better pick overall, because like I said, Dot is rare. I don't think they're going to support Dot. I hope they do. I don't think they will. And if you don't have the Dot characters already, Saedra really loses a lot of her value. Or sorry, not Saedra, Hysilens, god damn it. Saedra's a little bit similar, but I think because she's a Harmony, she's just probably more useful overall. And even though her niche is with Phanon and just echoing shit, we gotta see. So the competition is a little tough, but not too tough. It's basically, do you have their teams already? Because I don't know going into the future how good they are really going to be. These 2 characters, even though they're also largely connected in the lore as well, these 2 characters might be some of the nichest characters we've gotten in a while. But either way though, we're going to look at her kit, we're going to see how broken this might be if they give us numbers, and we're going to react to it. Let's take a look! Also, I love the little story they give us with Owlbird every time.
A coastal city of intoxication and dreams.
They get drunk. Oh, that place is hot. Her idol is really cool too.
Daughter of the sea, Chrysos air who cleanses the ocean's
she's also like a
flame,
different race. She's like a fish person. Oh my god, there's the queen.
The show must go on.
Star Rail Farina.
Fragile as bubbles, the waves will keep surging forward. On this episode of Keeping Up with Star Rail, let's look at this deep-sea musician, the wave strumming Knight Hysilens.
And you know what's crazy too? They have to put her as Nihility, but Nihility characters can kind of be anything. And this is where you have Acheron, who's a DPS, you have people who are like debuffers, who kind of slow people, aka Welt. And then you have her who's basically a support. Like if she wasn't Nihility, she'd be Harmony, but only for Nihility characters. Who does Albert have? I'm curious. Is it gonna be Saedra?
Wondrous deeds. We have the honor of inviting Hysilens Superior.
Oh my god.
North, Supreme Commander of
this is the second time she's been with Albert, by the way.
Well, Red Strategist, anyway, the great Emperor.
And we're gonna see her fucking her personality now too.
Program.
Albert's scared.
Your She's so
Ooh, she said
You
hi.
still found time to grace this holy show with your presence. Such a
You know you have to
pleasure
glaze her.
to
She
see
hasn't
our
said
soul
anything
moon
yet.
shines bathed in the golden light of the heavens.
Imagine this is secretly
Since you
Sparkle.
know I'm busy, please don't waste any more of my time or patience.
She has little
I
bat
despise
wings.
cheap flattery, so keep it to
Ooh.
yourself, duck sycophant.
Sycophant? Well then, let's not waste any more time. And
They even put
getting
the
into
arrow
today's
pointing at
topic.
him saying that.
Hysilens is a physical character following the path of nihility. This sea siren
Bro, her
princess
chest
was
is
once
crazy.
famed for her music and singing, accompanying the sighs of the tides with a violin made of seashells.
Ooh.
And at
Her
the
design
same
looks
time,
so
she is
good.
an unstoppable blade, tempered through countless trials of blood and flame.
She looks so
Even
robotic,
the most gentle
man.
of instruments can become the sharpest of weapons. Has Dux Avis Snowy ever heard the cry of spilt blood?
Dux
Oh, sure,
Avis
sounds
Snowy? Is that
horribly nice.
Finon?
With Hysilens' talent, ally attacks with enemy targets have a high chance.
Her
to
animations look
inflict
really
one
cool
or
too.
more
She's
effects.
fucking skating.
Which bleed, burn, or shock. Affected enemies take DOT of the corresponding type at the start of each turn.
Oh.
When using her skill, Hysilens has a high chance to increase the damage taken by all enemies for a certain number of turns.
When they
and
say
deals
high
physical
chance, that makes me think number one, you have to build her effect hit rate just like Black Swan, and number two, imagine you miss that chance if you're like not building correctly.
damage to all enemies.
That must suck.
When Hysilens uses her basic attack, she deals physical damage to one designated enemy. As expected of the Imperator's Dux Gladior. Even the way she
Gladiorum.
slashes people is so great.
Ooh.
I'd love to admire those sharp
Dude,
moves
I
of
love
both.
Saidra's face. She
That
just goes
silver
blank.
tongue wants to be slashed too.
Yo, Saidra's so mean
But
to
the title of
him.
Dux Gladiorum is not worthy
They
of
keep
someone
zooming
who
in on her
only possesses
chest.
the grace of the blade. To become the Imperator's Gladius, one must have a murderous spirit as tempestuous as the tide.
So Saidra likes that she's
Exactly.
crazy.
So when using her ultimate, Hysilens creates a zone, reducing
Oh.
all enemies' attack and defense.
I wonder if
and
the
does
zone is
physical
the same
damage
thing as the
to all
territory.
enemies. When she uses her ultimate after certain traces are unlocked, if the
So
enemy
I don't think
target
that
is
could be on the
currently
same
with
time as
DOT,
Tribi, or as
all
Ron May
DOT
either.
currently applied on the target will immediately deal damage.
So she's
It's
kind
also
of
worth
like
noting, While
Kafka.
targets are in the zone, each time they receive any DOT, they will take one more instance of DOT from Hysilens.
It's basically like she's echoing
Wars
it already,
always end quickly when
passively.
she's around. Her ability to clear the battlefield like a tide has taken care of many inconveniences for me, letting me focus
Oh.
on matters that are more deserving of the crown.
It's so funny because that's the opposite of
I
how
must
Dot
say,
works.
The Imperator really knows how to hire him. After unlocking certain traits,
This is like
at the start of
meaner
combat,
Farina.
Hysilens will create a zone with the same effect as our ultimate.
Oh,
When Hysilens deploys
that's
her
actually
zone, she will
extremely
also
good. Holy
recover one
shit.
skill point. After using her technique, Hysilens creates a special dimension that lasts for a fixed amount of time and automatically moves forward. Enemies within the
Oh.
dimension will enter the soul-struck state. They will not attack
AKA they're
Hysilens
horny.
and will follow the dimension as it moves. After entering battle against enemies in the soul-struck state,
That thing
there's a
looks
high chance
crazy,
to
by
inflict
the
two
way.
effects from wind shear, bleed, burn, or shock on all enemies.
But
So,
only two,
let's
huh?
sum it up. Hysilens can provide significant
Ooh.
buffs for DOT lineups. Her talent
Man,
is
no
to
Black
inflict DOT on
Swan.
enemies when they're hit.
Oh,
In her zone, enemies will trigger one more instance of
thought there's
DOT
like a
from
fish
Hysilens
symbol
for
on
every
that
one
shit.
instance of DOT taken. With vulnerability inflicted on all enemies by Hysilens' skill, a full team defense reduction from her zone, and her ultimate instantly triggering DOT, the enemies don't
So her
stand a
ultimate
chance.
does what
They're
Kafka
about
does
to perish
passively.
under DOT.
A knight's blade proves itself not on parchment, but in blood. Let the
Ooh.
clash of steel reveal the unstoppable might
Man,
of
where's
Dux
Black
Gladiorum.
Swan?
Dux MC, let the fight begin.
Whenever she says ducks, I think of the
Imperial
animal.
decree. Hysilens uses her technique, putting the enemy in the soul-struck state before launching the
The
first
simp
strike to enter
state.
battle. Thanks to the soul-struck state, the enemies entering the battle are inflicted with 2 stacks of DOT.
Which really isn't a lot.
Because of her trace effect, Hysilens' zone activates on entry, reducing the enemy's defense and attack.
Oh,
Hysilens uses her skill to inflict vulnerability and 1 stack of DOT on all enemies. This
wow.
attack also triggers a follow-up attack from Kafka.
Which
Effect to
instantly
Hysilens'
procs
zone.
it.
Every triggered DOT triggers an extra DOT from Hysilens.
So again,
which
she's just an
means
echo.
Kafka's follow-up attack ends up triggering a one-time double DOT on the enemy.
What the
The enemy
fuck?
prepares to strike back, but traps out Hysilens zone. Go ahead and see what happens. Double DOT smacks them down before they can even twitch. Our teammates keep the momentum going of constantly dealing damage. With Hysilens talent active, every ally
Why do they have Luosha on this team?
Ooh, Kafka used their skill, detonating the DOT inflicted on the enemy.
God.
Hysilens zone, the double DOT instantly sends one of the enemies to their grave.
They're really trying to glaze DOT now. And they don't even call it dot.
And get ready for the crushing weight of the deep sea.
Another Bubby.
Triggers DOT on the spot. Another enemy down.
So it's like having two Kafkas almost. Jesus Christ, they're just showing it. Yeah, this is way better than Ron May. For dot teams. Ironically enough, that's still not great numbers compared to what we're used to. Like, we're used to hitting for like near 800k for some people. DOT is not going to get that high.
Ha! The thrones of this petty world mean nothing. To rule the board under Aquila's gaze? How dull.
Oh.
Only by crushing stars can one be worthy of the Imperator's crown.
Oh, she's crazy.
If I may offer counsel, Your Majesty, though Dux Gladiatorum stands unmatched, and though your army knows no equal,
They're gonna glaze us.
to seize the moon and stars, I believe you still
Erda?
Still need what?
Still need someone who can smooth the way.
Oh
No
my
bridges,
god,
no
he's trying to get a
deals across all
job.
factions in Your Majesty's name. Ideally, someone who has strategic partnerships with, say,
Oh
Fortune
my
Finance General,
fucking
Cosmos
god.
renowned geniuses. Maybe
She
the
always looks
universe
so
finds future for
upset.
two.
I never would have guessed Dux Wordsmith had such connections.
Your
Wordsmith.
Majesty is truly perceptive. You knew right away. If Your Majesty
She
allows
keeps
it,
shaking her
I will
head. Oh
gladly serve at your
no.
side. Not for flashy titles like Doug's Director or Doug's Beef Friday, you know. But
What is
simply
this whole
to serve,
duck
to all
shit?
support. That alone would be an honor beyond words.
Very well, I grant you the right to follow my banner.
Yeah, so she's one of the characters where if you glaze her, she's just like, alright, fine. Dude, this video was like halfway about Hysilens.
So in the world
Oh,
beyond the sky,
wait a minute.
getting teased, roped into free labor, and
Wait, she's
taken
Dux
hostage
P40?
is called a strategic partnership, huh? And people like that have titles like P40 or Director.
That's crazy
Truly
flame
enlightening.
towards fucking
Wouldn't you say,
the
Dux
IPC.
P40?
Yes, quite enlightening.
But now that you've sworn loyalty to my throne,
Oh.
how could I allow one of my own to keep getting teased, exploited, or held hostage?
Oh, is she gonna look out for him?
Which is why from this moment on, your new title shall be Dux Cutie Pie.
What
Thank
the
you, Your
fuck?
Majesty. Wait, hold on a minute.
That was so fucking stupid. Oh my god, look at the new march. I don't even want to start talking about that, but that's something I might go crazy for. Anyway, though, that's Hysilens. Yeah, pretty much, I imagine it's going to be very similar to Black Swan, except way better. Hysilens is, you know, people are saying, like, you know, she saved DOT teams. She is going to save them, but for how long is the question? For how long? I just hope Star Rail gives us some more DOT, man, because this is where, I think, sadly, Black Swan might be the first one to get kicked out of the DOT team. This is where Kafka can go anywhere DOT is relatively, and then Hysilens is like the #1 DOT character you want right now. As long as you have another DOT character, which at that point you want Kafka. Black Swan is almost like the odd one out now, which is really sad. But either way, Hysilens looks great for her niche. I'm very excited for her. I'm gonna roll her. I hope I get her. And we'll see how it works out. Anyway, I can't wait for her trailers. Hopefully they make her cool. I still hate the character herself, but her gameplay is great. Anyway, hope everyone enjoyed. Tell me what you think of Hysilens, and if you want more of me, watch me at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel.